Hello, welcome to No Bounds Live, and I'm in the chair of interviewing this week. It's all going to be about all different subjects of No Bounds. And I want to talk about today about profiles, right? We all have different profiles on different channels, and the socials are so important because people buy from you. People buy from people. And that's why we can utilize all of this free advertising that's out there on all different sort of profiles. But if you set up your profile and you don't update it, how are people going to know what you do? So we got an expert in the room. Obviously, that's Tesney.
Yeah, I love the fact you call me an expert. So I was going to say, I was just going to say, like, when we talk about profiles, we're talking about the Bounds profile, right?
Yeah.
Not just profile in general. We are talking about.
No, but we're talking about profiles and updating profiles.
Yeah.
Because it is a way, any business directory, any social media platform, anything you're on, you've got to have everything updated. Because otherwise, you're just showcasing half the brand, aren't you? Really?
Absolutely. And I think, look, when we're talking about, we'll go back to that word profile, right? For us, obviously, the foundation of this interview is about the Bounds profile, but it's about every profile. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to have a Facebook account, well, make sure you have a Facebook account the very best that you can. Yeah.
So don't have a photograph that is from 20 years ago.
Perhaps, updated photos. Your name right, what you do. You just keep
phone
things
number.
Up to date. Yeah, phone numbers are a big one. The amount of people that we deal with, where we then have to try and track down a way of communicating, it's crazy, and I've really struggled with that because for me it's that it's the people that think that they can keep their business and their personal profile.
So I'm going to ask you about that. So we've just gone straight in. I'm sort of interviewing you today. So that's one question I've got for you. What do you feel about keeping your business and your personal profiles on the No Bounds platform or any other platform separate?
You can't. You just can't. I mean, okay, so if I know for a fact, right, so take away me being the founder of No Bounds. Let's take me as being a customer of No Bounds, which I am. So jamiemccanch.com is its own brand, right? But I can tell you now that if someone searches in No Bounds, Jamie McCanch comes up. Yeah. If someone types in Jamie McCanch, No Bounds comes up. Now I'm obviously an extreme example, but it's the same for most businesses. So, for example, we've got a client. I'm gonna use this client because I've got an example of this. Yeah. A guy called Tim Fussell, right? So Fussell Fine Foods. Fussell's is spelled slightly differently. There's no connection really between Tim Fussell and Fussell Fine Foods. However, everything that Tim posts about Fussell Fine Foods is posted by Tim.
Yeah.
So if I type in Tim Fussell, Fussell Fine Foods comes up. You can't get away from it. If people are looking to work with you, if people are looking to connect with you, build relationships with you, build any levels of professional or personal connections, they're going to check out your social media platform. Yeah. They're going to find out who you are first because they want to make sure that your values add up, that you share the same ethos, that you are the same people. If I run a business, and let's just say No Bounds as a network, and let's take away the motivational speaking of it. If I'm there, No Bounds this, No Bounds that, No Bounds this, No Bounds that, and then on my personal profile, I'm spitting racial hate or sexist comments, then people who don't want to know that are not going to deal with me on a professional level either, because we don't share the same ethos.
So coming back to that, so we've had power hours with Fiona, and one massive thing that I took away from Fiona was the fact that if you want to talk about something, so say political issues, for example, it's not something that I particularly share at all. But what are your thoughts around subjects like that? So it could be political, it could be cultural, it could be so many different subjects. What are your thoughts around sharing things like that on your socials or on any platform?
Yeah, really good, right? It's a really good example actually, because I'm quite openly atheist. Okay, so because I don't believe in God, but I do respect faith. So I'm quite happy and comfortable to talk about Muslim prayer and the power of why Muslims pray. I'm quite open and happy to talk about veganism, even though I'm not a vegan. But I can respect that that's someone else's wishes. That's the difference. It's being able to speak about the subject in a respectful manner. To go, do you know what, actually? It's not what I do, but I get you.
And I think exactly that. I think if you're going to put something on your profile, so say you're putting out something on any platform, you're really going to have to take the consequences, aren't you? So if you speak openly about a political argument, you're going to have to respect people's opinion coming back to you on what you said. But if you're not prepared for that, don't put it out there.
Yeah, because, and I know that respect works both ways, right? But unfortunately, you've always got to rise above that, right? So if you're going to put it out into the ethos in the first place, then you need to be able to understand that actually you've got to respect someone else, because that's what you want to portray. You want to be portrayed as someone who is respectful. But if you're putting it out in the ethos, not everybody thinks the way you do. So it's a different.
I think this is something actually really that's just come to mind for us really often when people start up their business. We have a startup just come and join us in Cinebound's headquarters, and the whole process of the branding and everything that you go is going to sit with your values. And I think sometimes the first thing people think about when they're starting up a business is to put stuff out there, but they haven't really thought about why they're doing it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a massive one, to sort of go through the beginning of the process, even if you don't really understand what you need in terms of branding. Just make sure, maybe, so over to you, Jamie, because I can see you dying to.
No, I am, because I wanted to kind of bring, one of the things that we're very good at is falling down rabbit holes. I want to try and bring it back into what we were actually talking about, which is our, a profile. And you were talking about branding and everything else and the ethos of that and how it shares. And one of the things that I really struggle with is someone that's paid all this money out for a brand, or they sat down and they've actually thought about their brand, and then you go onto one of their profiles and it's a elongated, stretched, blurry picture of their logo, and you kind of go, that says nothing. All that says is you can't be bothered. And if you can't take pride in making sure that your image is absolutely 100% every single time, then how are you going? That doesn't, to me, for me personally, I go, I don't want to work that business, because it's about having pride in yourself, and to have pride in other people, you've got to have pride in yourself, and I really believe that. So when we're talking about, the Scene of Bounds profile, so you've got your personal profile where you can have a cover photo, you can have a profile photo, so the same as you can on any of the other platforms. Okay, so LinkedIn is the same, Facebook is the same. We haven't reinvented the wheel with it. Okay, we've just created a safer platform in order to achieve that. You can put your bio in there, you can put your contact details in there, you can put your website on there, you can direct people to other places, and that's just the personal profile, which is free.
But this always makes me absolutely wonder what people think when they just put the first name, for example.
Yeah, or they use an email address.
Yeah, or their email address with no picture, no banner, no contact details, no website, no phone number.
You're better off just not putting it on there.
Exactly.
Because what's going to happen is someone's going to come onto it, and what you're actually doing is damaging reputation. So people are going to go, oh, they can't even be bothered, and they're just going to sack them off and move on to the person who can. So if you having your name on something is not enough.
No.
It's not good enough, right? You're going to put your name on something. Make sure that it is 100% spot on.
So we're coming to the end of this show, I think, because we can talk about this all day. It's something that really sort of sits with me, because I think you need to put out there all the time what you are about and why you're doing what you do, because that is why people would buy your services. So just to finish off the show, how can people, say people that not everyone is techie, right? I'm one of them. I'm not super techie, but we have an incredible help center. So tell us about, so if I'm wanting to put my business on Cinebounds, and first of all, then I create my personal profile, can I find help on the platform on how to do that?
Yeah. You just go, so there's a couple of ways to do it. You either go down to the bottom of the screen where it says help center, or you just click the icon at the top and a drop down comes down and it says help center on it. You click on it. And there's new videos on there all the time. There's blog posts on there about how to do stuff. There's frequently asked questions at the bottom. And to be fair, actually, if there's something that isn't on there, just let me know, and I'll either create a Loom video showing you how to do it, or I'll create a blog and put it on there showing you how to do it.
Now, the one really top tip around Senior Bounds is that you can actually contact us. You can't phone the other social media platforms, but you can the Senior Bounds.
Yeah.
You can literally phone 07985 552301, and you'll get a person that will speak to you, and we will help you to get your profile up to the best. So on that note, I think we're going to end off the show. But yeah, I'm certainly going to take a look at my profile today, because also the more you put your profile on there and you update things, you're actually going to come on the first page as well, so people can see you.
Yes, there's a massive SEO benefit to that as well. But also, if your profile is updated on Senior Bounds when Google is searching, it's got quite a high Google rating, it will then push your name and your brand back up Google as well, which then filters down to your websites and all the tech stuff.
So if that kind of feels a bit too techy, then watch some of the other videos, because we often talk about this and we make it really easy for you to understand. So any problems, you know where to find us, seniorbounds.co.uk. Thank you so much for watching today. Take care. Bye for now.